In the Right Here Right Now streaming debut on Veeps, director Alex Ross Perry was in the chat and he was answering some fan questions. I did grab all of the screenshots that I could, and I think I got every single question down for this video today, but I will make a separate video with just the screenshots only. This will be a longer video, but before I get started, I'd like to make a quick shout out. A really big shout out to Papa Secondo, who was happy to share his screenshots with me to make sure I had all my information for this video. But you should also check out his page because he's doing a really cool ghost charity community auction, and all of this money is going to go to the Trevor Project. There are a ton of cool prizes, and including a Funko Pop that's signed by the man himself. Thanks, Papa, and definitely check it out, guys. Starting in no particular order, let's start with the fact that what Papa is biting into in the beginning of the film when he says "in it" is a Ricola lozenge. Sad to report there were no bloopers in the film, or at least nothing that would make a funny blooper reel. Alex didn't confirm anything, but he said he would love for this to have a VHS release. The cats sleeping in the cat tower behind Sister were actually just fake robotic cats. There were a ton of different references in the film, including Hellraiser and The Matrix, 1930s Dracula, and even Benny Hill comedy, which you can see in Watcher in the Sky during the hat scene. Another huge inspiration were a lot of Italian cinema, specifically giallo films, including director Lucio Fulci. Alex said this part in particular had the Fulci eyes. When asked about the black and white devil footage that was used during the concert, it was from an excuse my pronunciation, a Swedish film about witchcraft called Hackshan. Boxing Papa was just an idea Tobias had, and they loved using it because not only was it fun and a good Rocky reference, but they needed to get Papa back from the B stage to the A stage. It also made for a really good Steadicam shot. When asked about the venue choice for the film, Alex had said that the LA Kia Forum was the most favorable. Alex said that one of his biggest jobs and put a lot of work into was translating Tobias' speak of his conceptual ideas and making it workable and achievable for the film crew. One of the big special moments that they had to film was Papa in the spotlight in his red jacket that we see in the trailer. This was actually done at the very end of their shooting after a 14-hour day. All of the big narrative moments between Papa, Nil, and Sister were actually pre-scripted, as was the line, "Are we gonna do an encore?" It was always meant for a ghoul to say, and then Rain got to do it. A majority of everything was scripted in the narrative part, but things like the "in it" joke, those were made on set that day. If you look at Sister's monitors, they are actually perfectly in sync to what's happening in the concert as they're filming. Alex was the one who suggested that the Mary on the Cross sequence be animated because it was the most realistic way to achieve this segment. It was the best way to make sure that they got all of the story beats between these two characters because it just was not realistic to be able to film a car chase and the stunts and running across Hollywood. Which, A+, love this. Some of the more important shots in the film were any of the wide angles where Papa leaves the stage. This is because they really needed those to sync up to whenever he came back on stage during the film. I believe the words used were these need to be as seamless as possible to make it work. And most importantly for those wide shots was the Watcher in the Sky when he goes backstage because it really had to work with the slow-mo sequence. So there are a few camera techniques Alex was asked about, including the part where Papa, Nil, and Copia are in the box, which they actually had to build a whole box to use that scene for. So the scene was actually filmed twice, one with Papa by himself, one by Nil by himself, and then they were added together. With Papa Nil, he would have a transparent layer when he was added. During the Spokes on It part with Sister Imperator, somebody asked how they got the distorted effect, and Alex said it was a really simple camera trick of you slowly loosen the camera's lens to make it blurry. When asked how they did the quick costume change scene, Alex said that what they did was they had Papa in his first costume, slowly zoomed up to his face, held it, and then they reset the scene, put him in the new costume, and then zoomed away. The important part was making sure that it looked like it was one take. Shooting the whole movie took about 9 days. So there was 1 day to shoot the end of credit scene, there was 5 total days for the narrative scene, and then there was 3 concert days. 2 of those days were the live shows, and then they had to do an extra just private showing so they could get all the necessary camera angles for the rest of the film. Alex was actually asked a lot of his personal feelings and story behind the movie and how it was made. This was also said in the London premiere Q&A, but he had said that if they ever wanted to shoot a movie, he would be happy to do it. So the initial scripting and storyboarding started in August 2023 and lasted until February 2024 when they started shooting the movie. Alex even said that the St. Louis show in 2023 is actually a bit historical to this movie because behind the scenes, backstage at the venue, is where this movie was being born. So the day before the St. Louis show, the band was actually resting in Kansas City, and Alex had went to work with Tobias. They worked from about 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. just working on the script and ideas. And then Alex said he got to ride on the bus to St. Louis, got to meet everybody, got to hang out with everybody, and they continued to work on the script in the venue. Alex absolutely loved the set designs, and he said one of his favorite parts were getting to put the chapters on the little VHS box set. When asked if he actually saw the movie on opening night besides the premiere in London, Alex said that he went to one and no one recognized him because he was kind of just another guy in a ghost shirt. Him and a lot of the crew went to go see it at the Regal Union Square. He would say that right now his favorite band is Kiss, which Tobias might agree with, and right now he's listening to something called New Wave of Traditional Heavy Metal. He said that aside from St. Louis and the 2 LA shows, he has actually seen them in concert. He went to the Long Island show, and in the pre-Imperator he went to the New Jersey show, and that's where they filmed Metal Myths. One of Alex's favorite parts of shooting was actually the private concert day because he got to see If You Have Ghost about 4 or 5 times, and he loved the skeleton dancers as well. Another favorite part of the movie for him was seeing the audience reaction. He loved seeing the merch and the plushies and all of the fun costumes. And he even confirmed that a lot of this film was made for the fans, including references, jokes, and just the whole concert experience. When asked how he liked working with everybody, he said he absolutely loved working with Alan and Marilyn, who are the actors for Papa Nell and Sister. He was asked a lot if he had a favorite Nameless School, but he said he could not pick a favorite because he loved working with all of them and thinks they're all incredible professionals and musicians. When specifically asked about Mountain, aka Hayden, he said Hayden was an amazing professional and absolutely skilled and amazing at what he does. Which is true, he uses 2 kick drums. So Alex didn't really want to talk about any scrapped ideas because he doesn't know if they're going to be reused later, but one of the ideas that was mentioned and that they ended up not doing was actually using a hot air balloon during the live show. It was going to fly out over the audience. And excuse my pronunciation again, but someone did ask if he got to meet the famed director Jonas Åkerlund, and he said yes, he's a really cool guy and he loved getting to pick his brain. Jonas is actually one of the producers of this movie, and he's done so much work with other celebrities in directing other music videos. Okay, and to wrap up with the last few facts is that he said he loved working with Tobias. He said he was blown away with how many references Tobias actually knows, and that Tobias is really, really good at puns. Alex said that when Tobias was referencing how they worked in Missouri together on the script, Tobias had said something along the lines of, "Yes, Alex, and you were Missouriable." And the question that was on everyone's mind to wrap this up is, yes, the jump split at Square Hammer with the red jacket, that was David Lee Roth inspired, and Tobias wanted to do the jump himself. Alright, thanks for sticking around. It was actually really fun to be able to talk to Alex in the chat, and I really hope they start doing more stuff like that in the future. For now, I'm gonna have all those screenshots compiled together, and I will see you guys next time.